This is Sportscentre.
Hey, I'm Roberto, and after a brief hiatus for American Thanksgiving, the NHL has returned to action Friday, and 6 of the 7 Canadian teams are in action. And with such a busy slate of games, we've got our eyes on 2 teams in particular, the Toronto Maple Leafs and the Winnipeg Jets. Despite both teams winning their divisions and making it to the second round of the playoffs last year, both Toronto and Winnipeg find themselves near the bottom of the league standings. However, with how much parity there's been in the league thus far, the Leafs and Jets aren't that far out of a playoff spot. But if they want to get there, they're going to have to win some games. And for both teams, that could start today. The Leafs have got a date with the Capitals in Washington, somewhere Toronto has played really well as of late. Dating back to the 2021-22 season, Toronto has won 5 of the last 6 games at Capital One Arena. Plus, the Leafs aren't nearly as banged up anymore after Austin Matthews, Matthew Nyes, and Nicholas Waugh all returned to the lineup against the Blue Jackets. And when you combine their track record with getting healthy, this could be the start of something good for Toronto. The Jets, on the other hand, have a pretty tough matchup today, as they're taking on the Carolina Hurricanes, who got the best of them just last week. And that kicked off a mini 3-game losing streak that they will try to desperately end tonight. But going up against the league's 4th best offense on the road, and going without Connor Hellebuck, it feels like they have their work cut out for them. But you never know how it's going to turn out in the NHL, which is why you got to tune into the games. And if you're in the Leafs or Jets regions, TSN's got you covered. The Leafs and Capitals get started at 5 Eastern, while at the same time, the puck drops in Carolina for Jets Hurricanes. And we'll see if either one of or both of these teams can actually push toward a playoff spot. Time enough for my favorite segment. I'm yours, we love sports today.
Why we love sports today.
And we've seen some wild NBA comebacks over the years, where one player's put the team on his back and snatched victory from the jaws of defeat. Reggie Miller's 8 points in 9 seconds at MSG in the playoffs comes to mind, or Tracy McGrady's 13 points in 33 seconds to knock off the Spurs. Well, yesterday we saw a new legendary comeback added to the list, but not from the association. Instead, we're hopping across the pond to the Copper Box Arena in London, where Lithuania pulled off a stunning comeback against Great Britain. Remember the name Ignas Sargunas.
The pull-up 3, it goes down! And now they won't want to foul here. Sargunas again for 3! Ignas Sargunas! And pray for a miss of some description. Wheatle throws it up. Olasheni spills it! Sargunas for the win! Oh my goodness! Lithuania make it on the buzzer! How? Simply just how? The basketball gods favor!
Oh my God, that was incredible. I have full body chills on that one. What a moment. Oh my God. The away team too, ooh, devastating. And we also saw a thrilling end to the last Raptors game Wednesday night, when Brandon Ingram buried the game winner with just 0.6 seconds left on the clock. See the red-hot Raps extend their win streak to 10 games tomorrow, when they visit the lowly Hornets. Coverage begins at 6 Eastern on TSN 4. The end of the F1 season is almost upon us, with just 2 races remaining on the 2025 schedule. And after last week's fireworks in Vegas, we're gonna need to bring in our racing analyst Tim Haraney to break down the penultimate race on the slate. Thanks for joining us, Tim.
Well, Marissa, I mean, it's just 2 races left, and F1 goes away for a few months. It's all quite sad, really. I don't really know what I'll do with myself for that length of time. However, it's good to see you. How are you?
Okay, Tim, I thought you were going to a dark place there for a second. It's gonna be all right, buddy. We'll see you again soon. On the heels of last week's unprecedented results in Sin City, how improbable is Max Verstappen's chase for a 5th consecutive title, especially considering he could have been all but eliminated from contention if the initial results had held last weekend?
Well, Max Verstappen isn't too sure he can win this thing, and he was even saying yesterday that if he was in the McLaren, this championship would be all but wrapped up. However, he still has a shot. 24 points back. It's not a lot. However, it is just enough for Lando to sort of keep him at distance. But if you look at what Max has done since Zandvoort, so if we go all the way back to the end of August, he was in a triple deficit behind Oscar Piastri, then championship leader. It was 104 points. He was back. He has wiped that triple deficit away. Did he get lucky with some things? Yes, you have to. It's motorsports. There is a bit of luck involved in some of this. But what he's been able to achieve and accomplish, I mean, this is by far the best that I have ever seen Max Verstappen inside a racing car.
So with all that said, do you think Max will finish ahead of Norris and Piastri in Qatar and head into the final race of the season with the championship within his grasp?
Yeah, it's a great question, Marissa. I mean, this weekend in Qatar is going to be extremely exciting. First of all, there's a lot on the line here for Lando Norris. There's a lot on the line for Oscar Piastri and Max Verstappen. Remember, Piastri and Verstappen are actually tied for second on points. They're 24 points back of Lando Norris. Now, if Lando outscores both of them by 2 points or more, it's over. Lando would become the champion. For Max, it's going to be extremely important for him, obviously, to finish in front of Lando, but also Oscar as well this weekend, so he can take this championship fight all the way to Abu Dhabi and try and finish it off there. There are a few things, though. I mean, McLaren, I think, are going to be pretty competitive this weekend. They look really strong in free practice 1. It is a sprint race weekend, so it does throw up a lot of different scenarios. However, for Max, he's got that newish power unit in the back of his car, where the two McLarens, I mean, their power units are starting to get a little older. And if they put new power units into their car, they end up taking grid penalties. However, if you ride out the engine that you've already got for the rest of the campaign, then do you then run the risk of DNFing, having issues with that engine, and really causing yourself a lot of problems? So there are some things there for McLaren to really look at. Also for the fan as well, just keep note of that, keep eye of that, because you just never know. Other than that, Marissa, I think this weekend's going to be absolutely incredible.
Can't wait to see how it all plays out. Enjoy the race, Tim.
All right, thanks very much for having me. Really appreciate it, Marissa. Thanks to producer Sean as well.
And you can catch the Qatar Grand Prix live Sunday morning. It goes just before 11 a.m. Eastern on TSN. Back to the ice, and the Toronto Sceptres play their home opener at Coca-Cola Coliseum tomorrow. And they're looking to improve to 2-0 on the year after a big win against defending champion Minnesota Frost, which was some nice revenge after Minnesota ended Toronto's season last year. Now they will face off against the Boston Fleet, a team they did quite well against last year, as they won 4 of their 6 matchups, including all 3 games that were played in Toronto. And if you look at their goal differential in those home games, you will see they won pretty convincingly. So it's no surprise our friends at FanDuel have them as favorites for tomorrow's game. And if they can pull it off, could we see the Sceptres get a nice bump in the Walter Cup odds? We'll wait on that front, but for now, it should be a great game in the PWHL tomorrow. And you know I'm going to be there, so follow on my socials. I'll post a TSN as well. I'll post a bar down. It's going to be a good time. Yesterday, I got a call from the head honchos at TSN saying I had to go to this event, but they were very vague on what that event was. They just said to bring you along with me, so we're going to discover it together. It's supposed to be some kind of spicy announcement. Let's find out in the latest edition of Roberto on the Go. The clues I have so far is that we're in Toronto. There's a lot of Toronto themes here. We're supposed to put where we're from in Toronto, where we live in Toronto, then where our families are from around the world. Dropped a pin for Puglia, my father's region.
We're getting closer to announcement time. I still don't actually know what's happening, so it's going to be a surprise with you.
Oh, we got the countdown cooking.
Okay, we got a good spot up front.
It's getting me excited for New Year's, gotta say. And then the big reveal, the rebranding. York United FC is now officially Inter Toronto FC. Loving this new logo and the colorway. Now we had the owner speak on stage, a message from Jesse Marsh. We had Estachio, because obviously his brother is the coach of the team, keeping it in the family here. Got a scarf, and I thought about crashing the owner's pick just for fun. Guess what time it is, Lupo? We got 2 dogs. Promo time! From now until December 1st, you can get 30% off a TSN annual pass, meaning you'll get access to the World Juniors, Super Bowl, PWHL, NBA, and NHL Regional Hockey, plus so much more. And the news gets better because TSN Plus is also included in your subscription for extended coverage and exclusive feeds. Go to tsn.ca/subscribe or just click the link below if you're watching on Insta. Here's a taste of what you can look forward to if you subscribe before Sunday, with 4 exciting games on TSN and TSN Plus, as well as access to NFL Red Zone, where you can catch every touchdown from the early to late afternoon games across the league. That's it for today. We will see you back here Monday. Have an amazing weekend.